I'm recommending comic books. And this next one might be a little bit niche, but I would highly recommend it, especially if you are a bit of a history buff, or maybe you don't really know that much about American history. Maybe you live in the Southwest and you're a little bit curious, and maybe you don't totally know fully understand the Mexican American culture, and that's something that interests you. I highly recommend Los Tejanos. So this is a Fantagraphics book, so for me it's local, but it is by Jack Jackson, and this is such a cool book. It is a little bit of an older book, it's from the 1980s, but it does tell the story of Los Tejanos in a way that really has not been told before. You might find some old history books about Los Tejanos and the story of Los Tejanos, but you definitely won't find a comic book. And even in creating this book, one thing that is often mentioned, because there are some notes from the historians and the people that are really passionate about this story that went in and created this book itself, talk about, is that even before this book, there really isn't that much out about the history of Los Tejanos. Really interesting because it follows the story of a guy named Juan Sequin. And Juan is put in between a rock and a hard place. There's a lot of conflict between the US and the Mexican Federalists, and just how he has to make some really tough decisions and how he has to defend his own position in different ways from these two groups. And that's really what Los Tejanos is about. It's a little bit military, it's a little bit historian, but it is a very accurate retelling to what actually happened, and it's history that's often erased, not talked about, especially not in public schools. And even though it is a little bit older, the artwork is solid. And I mean, you can see that, like, it's filled out. You're not seeing like a character with a white background. Not that I'm crapping on that at all. It's just that they really go into detail. I mean, you can see the mountains back here, you can see the soldiers back here. Like, the art is solid. And so even though it's an older book, even though it is a bit of a black and white, maybe that's not something that you're into, I do really recommend it. And I think especially if you are from the Southwest, or you are a Mexican American, or you're Chicano, I highly recommend it, because you can learn a little bit about your own history and some of the people that were here before, and just how we got to where we are now. And I think it's really relevant considering the political climate that we're in right now. But highly recommend it. It's a solid comic book. I think it's really, really worth your time.